Welcome aboard FENN, a Vripack Cutter 1200 AK built in 2005 by Wezel. She's a still-hold, full displacement cruiser with proper long-range credentials. You've got a Vetus Deutz engine, bow and stern thrusters, serious tankage and a beautiful cherrywood interior with 2 cabins and separate facilities. The deck was fully reteaked recently and she was professionally painted in 2023. So she's looking sharp inside and out. Now, if you're into sturdy Dutch cruisers like this one, built with real world capability in mind, this one is worth sticking around for. We're going to take a full look around the vessel. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the full boat tour and of course the other boat tours that I'll be doing over the next couple of days. But anyway, let's look around. As always, I'm very much looking forward to finding out what this boat has to offer and also what you think of her.
And don't forget to check out my link tree. It's where I feature hand-picked boats currently available for sale and charter. You'll also find all of my top playlists there, including members only content, behind the scenes access and exclusive tours. There are direct links to brokers' listings for every boat I've featured that's for sale or available for charter. And if you've got access to a boat you'd like me to feature on the channel, that's where to reach me. The link's pinned in the comments and in the video description.
So we'll start this boat tour by having a look around the upper deck, but first let me show you around the cockpit. So as you can see, we do have a bimini there that is currently stowed away, but of course you can open that up if you want to get some shelter from that searing midday sun. Just over there on the port quarter, you can see a door. Now when we open that little gate, in fact, we find a ladder and that takes us all the way down to the water. So if you are at anchor and you want to take a quick dip in the water before having your evening meal, you've got a ladder that takes you straight down into the water and you come back up through that little gate and you are in the cockpit again. But it's a very nice and very well laid out cockpit here. You can see if I start lifting some of these up, we've got plenty of space to store our lines or whatever it is you want to stow away under there. And if I just take a step back, making sure I don't fall overboard and just bring the camera up, you can see the layout so you get a good idea in terms of what to expect when we walk around this boat. Now, the mast, you've probably noticed already, but you can actually lower this pretty considerable mast. So we can take a look down here and you can see the mechanism here that enables the air draft on this boat to be drastically reduced. So it's a very good boat actually for cruising around inland waterways.
This is where the staysail or cutter rig would typically attach. The mast's already set up for it, so adding a sail here would be a straightforward process.
Moving up the mast, you can see a couple of radomes there. We've got the radar reflector right at the top on the starboard side, anemometer, and our aerials all the way out the top there as well. A little CCTV camera just over there to the left as well. Now, before we go in here, I'm going to walk around the upper deck, but you can just have a quick glimpse here at the Helm setup. It's very modern actually in terms of the equipment on board this boat. The owner's done a fantastic job in terms of the investment made when it comes to the nav gear on this boat, and you'll see more of that. But first, let's head up to the bow via the starboard side deck. You can see at the moment we're 3 abreast here. Ordinarily I'll start these boat tours by walking along the pontoon or the dock just to give you an idea of the sheer and the lines of the boat, but as you can see we are the outboard boat at the moment, so that's not entirely possible. Anyway, you can see we've got a couple of steps just there and our big windows that lead into the saloon. Boarding gate cut into the stainless steel sea railing. And if I just bring the camera up over to my left hand side, you can see the coach roof. So we've got a couple of vents there, big old ship's horn just over there on the right hand side, big skylights there, and we'll have a look on the other side of them in just a second. Spotlight over there on the port side as well, and you can see we've got the stay there as well for that big mast. I do like the fact as well that this awning does have a bit of an overhang here as well. So the midday sun, if you do want to bring that out, you're not going to start getting all the equipment, all the nav equipment overheated. You do have a bit of shade there. You can see on these slightly reversed raking windows as well, we do have hinges there. So as you've guessed, you can actually lower those windows as well. So if you really want to be at one with your elements, then you can lower those windows. Plenty to hold on to as we walk around the upper deck here. Big old grab rails. They of course have the starboard steaming light. As we move forward to the bow, you can see the superstructure is raised. And of course that means we're going to get some decent headroom when we go down below. You'll also notice as well we've got 2 solar panels here, and they are flush with the superstructure. So yes, a very, very good use of the space. We do have another skylight just there. As you can see, it has been raining. I'm lucky enough to get a bit of a break in the cloud whilst I'll show you around. Now over there on the port side, the left-hand side of the camera, just down there, we have one of the GPS aerials. Now, considering the LOA of this boat, when you walk forward to the bow, you can see the flare. There's a really good flare on this boat and a really good amount of space up on the bow as well. You can see we've got a couple of bollards just down there, another 2 over there on the port side. Up at the bow, we've got a stainless steel anchor, an electric windlass and a proper chain locker. All clean, well laid out and easy to access. And if I just bend down and lift this up, you can see we've got the chain locker. There we go. Right, if I come right up to the bow now and just kind of slowly pan around just to give you a really nice view of that superstructure. Absolutely stunning. Very, very nicely designed boat. Really love the lines on this boat, and you can really appreciate those lines from this angle. You can see as well the amidships window that leads down into the saloon. That can be opened up as well to get some ventilation in there. Right, let's head back aft along the port side deck. Decent sized side deck actually for a boat of this size. We've got another boarding gate in the port sea railing as well, and a couple of steps back up into the cockpit. So we're shimmy round to my left. The other thing as well, you probably did already notice this, but we do have a couple of davits there. So if you're wondering where the tender is stowed away, you can see the davits just down there. Okay, let's spin around, head up to the helm. Over to the right hand side of the helm, you see we've got a freestanding chair just here. This is a great place for your navigator to sit down. We have a decent size multi-function display just in front of us there, Raymarine display. And you can see if I just bring the camera down, we do have a radiator down there as well. Small bin, tiller control just there, and then over to the left is obviously where we find the main helm position. So what do we have here? Right, starting from top to bottom, we have the Raymarine autopilot just there. If I bring the camera down, you can see we've got the analog display for the single engine, analog depth sounder just down there, and you can see as well this boat does have a bow and a stern thruster. So if you are operating this boat single-handedly, it is very, very operator friendly. Throttle control lever just over there, and back over onto the left-hand side we've got the controls for the master vault system and the searchlight controls as well. Nice decent sized ship's wheel just there. But yeah, it's a very, very good setup. As I say, if you are operating this boat single-handedly, all you've got to do is kind of look over to your right and you've got your chart just there if you don't have a navigator on board. Or like I say, if you are operating this boat on your own. And of course, all of this can be taken down as well if you want to expose this area to the elements. If you are lucky enough not to be hounded by rain clouds, then you can open all of this up. But yeah, let me know what you think of this helm station down in the comments. As always, I'm interested to read what you think. Now, before I go down below, let me just quickly pan aft and just show you the cockpit setup. Again, I always make a point really of just trying to show you the layout as best I can. just by panning around every now and again, so you get a really good feel for how the boat is laid out and in terms of the accessibility of the boat and everything else. So anyway, down below you can see, before we head down there, we've got a door there and a hatch, so when you are off the boat they shut and the boat is secure. Okay, down the steps we go. Over to my right hand side you can see we've got a seating area just down there, so we've got an L-shaped seating arrangement just there with some more seating just opposite. Fixed table, and look at the size of these huge windows on here. That one can be opened up. Decent amount of headroom here. You can see obviously the curtains are open, but if you are on here at night and you want some privacy, you can of course shut those curtains. Now to my left is where we find the galley. So we've got a sink just underneath here. And just to the right of that, we do have a 4-burner induction hob with an extractor fan just up there, and that window can be opened up as well. Plenty of cabinetry. That goes all the way back, so you can see how deep that is. So if you are going to be going around a bit of an extended voyage, you do have a decent amount of space on here as well. Now if we just pan aft, I'll bring the camera over here, open this up for you, so you can see this is where we get access to the wiring for the Helm above. So nice and easy to access all the wiring in there if you need to get access in there. You can see also we have a thermostat just on there and a National Geographic anemometer. Now down those stairs, that is where we get access into the owner's cabin, and also that's where we get access into the engine room. But before we head down there, let's head forward. You can see just down these 3 steps we have a lower saloon down here. So an L-shaped seating area just down there to my right. Just over here on this bulkhead is where we get access to the fuses. And you can see the dials over there for the water tank, the voltmeters as well. Now if you're wondering where we get access to the generator controls, look behind that door. Pop these open and check out that setup. That's the kind of thing you'd find on a commercial boat. So very, very impressive in terms of the systems on board this boat. She does pack a big punch for her size.
This is the main battery isolation panel with separate cut-offs for the engine, generator, 24-volt system and emergency parallel switch.
If I close that back up, it kind of reminds me, actually, being on here, of the kind of setup you'd expect to find on a sailing boat, really. And I guess you could say she is a motor sailor. So the similarities in terms of the setup of this boat and what you'd find on a sailing yacht are quite easy to detect as you walk around. Now, when you sit down here, if you do want to zone out and watch some TV, you've got a TV over there on that bulkhead. Now, underneath that, if I open this up, you can see we have a washer dryer in there. There we go. Close those back up again, and I'll pop open this one. You can see we have a Dometic fridge just in there. But when you're down here and you're looking up, this is the view you get. And if I pan all the way up there to the deck head, you can see that massive skylight there that can be opened up to get loads of fresh air in here as well. Okay, let's spin around and move forward. I'll take you into the guest cabin, which is a twin single in a kind of bunk configuration in there. So if you've got little ones on board, this is where they would be holed up. If I just open a couple of these up for you, just so you can see how much space you've got down here. Plenty of space for your offspring if they're lucky enough to join you on a voyage. Or your friends as well, adult friends, of course, you can fit them in here as well quite easily. Now behind this door we find the head. You've got a sink just over there, of course our toilet just down there with a radiator on that bulkhead. And there we find the wiring for the GPS antenna. Okay, let's shut that door. Come back into the upper saloon up here. And now I'm going to show you the owner's cabin. So down here, open this door, and there you go. Check out this space, very cozy. Lots of cabinetry over here. I love the fact that we've got a nice, decent sized window just over there that can be opened up as well. So if you want to get some fresh air last thing at night or first thing in the morning, you can open that up, and it does have a mozzie net on there as well. You can see just above the bed we've got more storage all the way across there. I'll bring the camera over to what is the starboard side. You can see even more cabinetry, loads of storage space all around here. You could probably set your laptop up there if you wanted to as well. If you're wondering where you practice your salutes, that mirror just in there. If I open up one of these for you, just so you can see how much space you get in there. Okay, so go back through here. This, of course, is the support for the mast. Solid support rig there. And over here on the port side, behind this door, is where we find the shower. So porthole just there with a radiator just over there. And if you are underway and you want to have a quick shower, you can sit over there if it gets a bit rough, so you're not being rattled around like a washing machine. Okay, let's close that. We'll spin around. And behind here is where we find the head. So sink, storage underneath, toilet just there, another radiator over there on that bulkhead, and of course another porthole in there. But it's very cozy, good amount of headroom in here. But it's a very functional layout. You can walk along both sides of the bed as well. So if you happen to wake up before your other half, you're not going to have to crawl over them to get out of bed, and they can have a lie-in. Strategically placed fire extinguisher just down there. You could never have too many fire extinguishers on your boat. And by the way, if you do need to get any safety gear or comms gear for your boat, I do have an affiliate store. If you want to check that out, just head to the link in the video description or the link in the bio. It's a good way to support the channel if you do need anything. Okay, right, engine room. Now, can you guess how we get in there? If I just quickly give you a look all around, open up this, little touches like that, the fact you've got a light wired in there. But access to the engine room just down here. So pop this open, and there we have the door. Open this, and into the engine room we go.
The engine on board is a Vetus Deutz DT44, a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder diesel producing 106 horsepower, driving a conventional shaft and prop setup. It's a simple, proven package that's widely supported across Europe and well suited to long range, low maintenance cruising. Fuel burn at cruising speed is just 4 litres an hour, which gives her excellent range thanks to the 1400 litre fuel capacity. That's roughly 370 US gallons. At her most efficient cruising speed of around 7.5 to 8 knots, you're looking at well over 1200 nautical miles of range, depending on conditions. Flat out, she'll do about 9 knots. There's also a 10.5 kilowatt Lister Petter generator on board for off-grid power, along with 10 service and starter batteries and a Mastervolt battery charger to keep everything topped up. On the freshwater side, she carries 2,300 litres, just over 600 gallons, and there's a 300 litre grey water tank for the heads and shower. What do you think of the engine room? Share your thoughts in the comments. A big thank you to Sturkenberg Yacht Brokers and to the owner for letting me come on board and show you around. At the time of uploading, she is listed for sale. If you'd like the direct link to the broker's website, head to my Linktree page and scroll down to featured boats currently for sale. Before you go, please don't forget to give the video a like, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more videos coming. Let's see how quickly we can get to 150,000 subscribers.